On the internet, sometimes you have to get really creative to stand out from the crowd, which births some legends, like the great Tide Pod eaters of yesteryear, or the absolute champion, the brave soul who attempted the hot coil challenge where he put his forearm on a stovetop. And these ideas are always made with the intent of getting views and going viral. And today I learned about someone who tried a new tactic, derailing a train for YouTube views.
Charges have now been filed against a Lancaster County teen accused of intentionally causing this train derailment out in Bennett. The 17-year-old even sent this video to 1011 afterwards. You see there some of those cars veering off of the tracks. It happened at the crossing at Highway 43 back on April 22nd. A criminal complaint says that between the rail itself and the train engines and cars, about $350,000 worth of damage was done. That teen has now been charged with 2 felony counts of criminal mischief, but he is not in custody at the moment. Attorneys have filed a motion to move his case to county court and to try him as an adult.
A very interesting strategy here. This sounds like some kind of lame plot that Cobra Commander would have cooked up to lure out the G.I. Joe, except here it's just used for views. There's so many things to unpack here, but one thing I'm very curious about is where he planned to go from here. Like, let's say he did get a huge audience for derailing the train. Does he just keep amping up the stakes? Like, next video, he smuggles a bomb onto a plane. Follow-up video, he drops depth charges into the Suez Canal. Like, I don't know how you keep upping the mischief to keep the audience hooked here. It seems like this is a one-and-done thing, unless he was just going to be some kind of, like, serial train derailer. Like the worst Saturday morning cartoon villain ever. So, who knows what the potential was behind this young lad's YouTube career, but he is being charged, and it looks like it's going to be very serious charges. $350,000 in damages, that's a lot of clams. He's going to have to sell a lot of Hot Wheels and maybe even his Fortnite account to start trying to make up for that.
Of also pulling a rail switch, ultimately causing that derailment. The lead investigator says the accused 17-year-old walked up during the investigation and asked what happened, later telling the investigators it was, quote, obvious that the switch had been pulled, and then showed the investigator the video you're seeing now. Railway police believe that security cameras in the area showed the teen not only driving up to the scene, but also setting up a camera minutes before the derailment.
I guess I've never seen a real-life train derailment, which is maybe the purpose behind his video, to educate us on what they actually look like. Because in my head, I always picture it the way Hollywood portrays it, where when a train derails, it's going at like fucking Mach 5 speed, and even when the emergency brake is cranked, it doesn't really do anything to stop it, so then the cars just start shooting off the tracks in every which way as Linkin Park's What I've Done plays. But clearly that's not the case in reality. So the conductor attempted to make an emergency stop, but didn't have enough time to do so before reaching the point of no return, and then it collided with an empty coal car. And it's very lucky that there weren't more damages, because I imagine in a situation like that, it's pretty common for some of the cars to start, like, not flipping over, like they're not doing like a fucking kickflip or a pop shove it and falling off the tracks, but like tipping over and shit once they get off the tracks, and especially when they collide with something huge like an empty coal car. So it definitely sounds like it could have been a lot worse there, so it was lucky that it didn't get as bad. And speaking of lucky, you can get really lucky right now by getting Goof Juice. It's going to improve your luck stat because it's the best beverage ever made. It's the best flavor. My GamerSupps Goof Juice flavor is available right now. There's a huge sale. gamersupps.gg/moist, or click the link in the description. Reading about it just makes the whole thing even stupider though, because the kid wanted to record it and share it on YouTube, so he hatched this nefarious scheme to go pull the lever after setting up a camera so he could film a train derailing, and then he stayed at the scene the entire time, and was even the one who alerted authorities to the incident. So he approached the investigator asking what caused the crash, and the investigator said he didn't know, so the suspect allegedly said, obviously a switch was flipped the wrong way. And I can already just imagine, like, he's putting a pinky to his mouth like Dr. Evil. He then even showed investigators the video he took, but denied trespassing and tampering with the switch. I guess he was really hoping that absolute bumbling imbeciles would have shown up that would have chalked up his presence and video recording equipment as just being some kind of coincidence. Dude shows up with like a fucking full-blown studio here to record this, and he expected the authorities to be like, huh, that's weird. Who could have done this? Must have been the fucking goat man. Like, Jesus Christ, I guess he was really expecting, like, NPCs from Assassin's Creed to show up that just immediately de-aggro when you go into tall grass. Like, must have been the wind. Probably wasn't this kid fucking filming everything here. So, he was also spotted on... he was also spotted setting up his camera and tripod near the crossing 4 minutes before the train derailed. And then they also found a video of the derailment posted to their YouTube channel. So, I mean, that was kind of a game point right there. That was kind of a checkmate. The 17-year-old's apparently a huge train enthusiast. That's what their YouTube account mainly dedicated to. And it's a big community on YouTube with, like, train videos, train spotting, and all of that. But I don't think anyone's gone so far as to intentionally derail a train to stand out in the community. That's definitely breaking new ground there. I am shocked, though, how easy it was for him to do that. Like, I just always imagined there'd be, like, actual security parameters in place to prevent just any old fucking Joe Schmo from walking up and just cranking a lever to change a train track. But I guess in this case, there was a padlock that was supposed to be there that wasn't there. Or perhaps this rabbit hole goes deeper. I'm going to put on the tinfoil hat here and blast your ass with a conspiracy theory. What if he wasn't working alone? What if there was an entire network here that set up this train derailment? What if it was the deep state using this 17-year-old to derail the train and cause havoc? Perhaps they were banking on even more damages with cars flipping over, maybe spilling some hazardous waste or something. So someone on the inside at the trail company, Jesus Christ, at the train company, they took the padlock away. They had a secret agent go in there, remove the padlock, and then the 17-year-old showed up and had free access to that lever and then to film it. And this is just the fall guy that we're looking at here. Food for thought. Something worth stewing on a bit. Now only time will tell as the investigation continues what the truth of the matter was, but most likely it was just someone fishing for YouTube views through a really degenerate viral video idea. Now, there is something I want to mention about trains. I may have never seen a train derail, but I have seen a train stop. That may not be some jaw-dropping feat or an achievement. I'm sure millions of other people have seen stopped trains before, but mine comes with a story. So there was a train track that ran right outside of my university when I was in college, and one night when going to a bar, the train had broken down, and it was stopped on that train track, and everyone at the bar would go and, like, climb on it and take pictures on it, and I wanted to be part of the crowd. So I did the same. And I took a picture in front of the train with my arms crossed. I'm pretty sure I pulled this up on stream at one point, but I used this as one of my Tinder profile pics for quite a long time. And it is perhaps one of the most revolting pictures you will ever find. It's so fucking stupid, it's so blurry, it looks like a picture of Sasquatch, and it is such a bad photo of me. It's when I still had, like, the mutton chops for a little while. God bless, what a fucking awful idea that was. But I looked like Wolverine if he got scurvy. So I was standing there in front of the train, arms crossed and, like, semi on my tippy toes, so I looked a little bigger in front of the train. And I unironically used that as my Tinder profile pic for quite a while. And I just had to share that here. I'm pretty sure I brought up that picture on stream, but I don't know if I ever told the full story to it. So seeing a train derail isn't really the same as seeing a train stopped and taking a picture in front of it, but both instances do involve a train. So, felt the need to share. That's about it. See ya.